have the leanings might take advantage of the children, but you don't have any specific instances that you can point to?
No.
But you had suspicions that some people left because of that?
A possibility, but not positive.
How about Mr. Curry? Was your suspicion that he left because of something like that?
I don't know about Mr. Curry other than it was inappropriate for him to come into the cottage at night at shower time, and the house leaders didn't appreciate that. And
when you say it was inappropriate, had he been told that he was not permitted to come in?
he wasn't told, evidently, because he did it on 2 occasions that I know of.
He came into the showers when the boys were...
Came into the cottage when they were showering the boys.
Was there any response by the administration, by the director or the superintendent to someone coming into the showers when they weren't supposed to?
Well, Mr. Davis had asked him, this is what Mr. Davis said, that he told him he'd rather he not come at shower time because that was a bad time, because he was trying to keep them in order and quiet, during that time. And if he comes in there and starts talking, some of the other boys, if he starts with this individual, other boys are going to want to come up and talk to him too. So.
Was the suggestion that he not come during shower time because people had concerns about his motivation in coming there during shower time?
Whatever it was, I know from self-experience that I didn't appreciate anybody coming in there when shower time came.
Okay, so these are a bunch of naked boys, and that's when Mr. Curry would come for a visit, and it made people...
2 occasions that I'm aware of.
2 occasions when you were a cottage father?
Yeah. Okay. No, well, yeah. And Mr. Davis's cottage at mine.
So that was 2 occasions in your cottage?
One time in my cottage and one time in Davis's cottage.
And do you know if that was going on in any of the other cottages?
No.
Did you ever talk to Mr. Curry about why he was making visits at that particular time? Do you know if any of the administration, the superintendent?
I don't know if they talked to him or not.
I asked you, this has been hours ago now, but I asked you earlier today about the circumstances under which Mr. Curry left, and you seem to hesitate.
Because I don't know.
You don't know. But he left during the investigation that was mandated by the governor?
I don't know that. I never did hear that mentioned.
And do you remember when it was that he left? What year it was?
No, I don't.
Did you ever hear about what happened to him after he left?
No.
Was he replaced?
Was he replaced?
Yes, sir.
Well, I would imagine so, but I don't know who it could have been.
Well, when we were discussing earlier, you said that there was Mr. Curry and Dr. Sousa.
Yeah.
Dr. Sousa was a psychiatrist?
He had a little office, I think, up at Pierce Hall. And
that's before...
He was a psychiatrist.
Was that before Pierce Hall was used for solitary confinement?
It was all built for a cottage and the lockups. And then up front, it had a lobby up there, and then I think Dr. Sousa had a little office up there. I never did go in his office up there, but...
But was his office located in the building at the time that it was being used for solitary confinement?
Yes.
So they had a psychiatrist in the solitary confinement facility?
Yeah.
And did Dr. Sousa prescribe drugs for the children? Did he medicate kids?
Not drugs to my knowledge, but soup. Special soup made up for the boys.
What does that mean, special soup?
I don't know.
Was it special soup that would change their conduct, or was it some kind of soup that had medication in it?
seemed to help those who had problems.
Where would one be fed the soup? Where did he give these boys soup?
I would think it was at his office. I'm not positive on that.
I think we're on a different wavelength. When you said soup, I'm envisioning somebody being served a bowl and eating soup. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So he would give them, is it a fair term, spiked soup? It had something in it?
I don't know that, but whatever it was supposed to help their behavior. One of the things that was told.
And did it change their behavior?
I don't know.
Do you know who it was that got the soup?
No.
How did you even learn that the soup was being given to boys?
Discussion among the staff.
Well, tell me about the discussion. What were they saying
Just
about the...
kind of laughing and talking about that soup that Dr. Sousa was giving the boys.
So Dr. Sousa was the psychiatrist that, other than soup, you're unaware of any medications that he was giving boys?
No.
And Mr. Curry what was his job? Do you know? Was he a psychologist?
The only
a counselor?
thing I knew of Mr. Curry was counseling with the boys. His office was in the back of the superintendent's office.
Did you ever hear any of the boys complaining about their contact with Mr. Curry?
No.
Never ever? Nobody. Was the visit to Mr. Curry something that was required for everybody, or was it when a problem was perceived?
Certain boys.
Certain boys. Everybody didn't have to go?
To my knowledge, they didn't.
How much time do we have?
About 14 minutes.
14 minutes.
How long?
As you know from our discussing this many times, one of our major goals is to try to talk to as many people as are still alive as are available. During the break, have you given it any more thought? Can you think of other people who were at the school when you were there that are still alive?
I can't. There was more, but I can't remember their names.
Are there any?
One man I remember right then is I don't know his first name, but Dudley.
His last name is Dudley?
Yeah, he's a black person.
And did he live in this area?
At the time he was working, I think he was living west of Malone on the old United States Road.
You're from Malone, right?
I grew up there,
Where is Malone?
15 miles north of here.
Any other people that you can remember that are still in the area?
I can't right now.
Are there people that you have maintained a friendship or relationship since leaving the school that worked there with you?
Just speaking and being invited to a fish fry or something like that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. People that you have a social relationship that you
Yeah.
still see to this day. Who would those people be?
Howard Chafin. I don't know if his name is on there or not. He worked in the maintenance department. And Mr. Horace Nichols, I think his name might be on there.
Horace Nichols is on here. Is Mr. Nichols still lives here?
Yes.
And what did he do at the school?
He worked out there in the home life department, and I believe he retired at maybe ACI. I'm not sure.
Let me jump back for just a minute. Several times today you've mentioned the home life department. You worked in the home life department yourself for a while, is that true?
Yeah, all the time that I was there, I worked I had other job too.
You know, tell me what the home life department was.
Cottage of boys that were supervised by house leaders.
So everybody that was a house leader was in the home life department?
Yes.
Okay. Was there anybody else in the home life department? So it's home life department is the same term we can use interchangeably with cottage parent. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You mentioned Mr. Dudley. When did you last see Mr. Dudley?
I haven't seen him in years. But he was a nice man, good worker.
And he worked in the maintenance department.
No, he worked in home life.
He worked